Hello, you're watching NewsX with me, Riya Dwivedi. Now let's take a look at the top story of the hour. Supreme Court has uploaded reports, photo and video with respect to the allegations of the discovery of unaccounted currencies at the home of Justice Yashwant Varma, sitting judge of the Delhi High Court. The inquiry report of the Delhi High Court Chief Justice and the response of the Justice Varma have been made public. The controversy erupted after a fire at Justice Varma's house and office residence on March 14 led to the discovery of large quantity of cash. Meanwhile, Justice Varma expressed concerns about a potential conspiracy against him. In his formal response to the Chief Justice of India, he categorically denied any connection to the cash or knowledge of how it arrived in the storeroom. But before we get into that, I'd like to show you exactly that report that has been made public on your screens. And this is the report. The Chief Justice of India has constituted a 3-member committee consisting of Justice Sheel Nagu, Chief Justice of the High Court of Punjab and Haryana, Justice G.S. Sandhwalia, Chief Justice of the High Court of Himachal Pradesh, and Justice Anu Shivaraman and Justice of the High Court of Karnataka for conducting an inquiry into the allegations against Justice Yashwant Varma, a sitting judge of the High Court of Delhi. And the Chief Justice of the High Court of Delhi for the time being has been asked not to assign any judicial work to Justice Yashwant Varma. The report submitted by the Chief Justice of the High Court of Delhi, response of Justice Yashwant Varma and other documents are annexed. And when we're talking about, it's to be noted that certain things to maintain confidentiality have been, the names and the portions have been redacted. Moving on, this is the report. The respected Chief Justice of India, an incident of fire at one of the rooms within the premises of the bungalow occupied by Justice Yashwant Varma was reported to me by Mr. Sanjay Arora, Commissioner of Police, Delhi. I deem it appropriate to report the same to your good self. On 15th March 2025, while I was at Lucknow on account of holy vacations at around 4:50 p.m., I got a call from Mr. Sanjay Arora, Commissioner of Police, Delhi, informing about an incident of fire which broke out on 14/3/2025 at about 11:30 p.m. in a storeroom near the office at 30 Tughlaq Crescent, New Delhi, which has been allotted to Justice Yashwant Varma. And the Commissioner of Police, Delhi, has also said that I also called for certain other information from him, in response whereof the Commissioner of Police informed me on 16/3/2025 that PCR call was made by Personal Secretary to Justice Yashwant Varma from mobile number, it's redacted, which is registered in the name of the High Court of Delhi, and that the Personal Secretary to Justice Yashwant Varma was informed about the fire by one of the servants placed at the residence of the Honorable Judge. It has also been informed that the fire service was not informed separately, though once PCR was contacted, the information relating to fire was automatically sent to the Delhi Fire Service. The Commissioner of Police has also informed that the storeroom is adjacent to the guard room, where CRPF Battalion 70F is posted, and that the storeroom used to be kept locked. I have also been informed that as per the security guard posted at the residence of the Honorable Judge, some debris and half-burnt articles were removed in the morning of 15th March 2025. So certain articles were removed in the morning. On receiving the information from the Commissioner of Police, Delhi, they have instructed Registrar Secretary attached with me to visit the spot. He accordingly visited the residence of Justice Yashwant Varma, and on reaching there, he called the Private Secretary to Justice Yashwant Varma to come out of the bungalow. And he came out and took him to the Justice Yashwant Varma, who was sitting in his office. And Justice Yashwant Varma, he visited the room where the fire had taken place, which is adjacent to his office, and accordingly prepared a report and submitted the same to me. As per the said report, it was informed that the articles and the room was being used as a storeroom to keep useless article of household and remain accessible to all and that was not kept locked. And in his report, it was also mentioned that on reaching the spot, he found out that it was complete dark inside the room and the walls had developed cracks. The report further mentions that with the help of mobile phones, torch, and Justice Yashwant Varma had a look inside the room, and it was found that all the walls had gone black on the account of fire and some material was hanging from the roof. And moving on, some half-burnt articles were also lying there, and further that burnt article debris were lying on the floor, and they spent about 8 to 10 minutes in the room and thereafter came out. And on reaching Delhi in the evening of 16 March, he immediately went to see your good self and apprised you of all that was reported to him. On being instructed by your good self, I contacted Justice Varma, who met him on 17 March in the morning at around 8:30 a.m. at Delhi High Court Guest House, where he is presently residing. And Justice Varma responded by saying that in the room where the fire had broken out, only unusable household articles like some furniture and mattresses were kept. He also told that the room was accessible to the servants, the gardeners, and sometimes even to the CPWD personnel. He also informed me that at the time of the incident, he was in Bhopal and got the information from his daughter. Justice Varma further told me that at the moment, black burned material is lying in the room, and I thereafter showed him, and he showed him the photographs and the video of the WhatsApp which were shared with me by the Commissioner of Police. He then expressed some apprehension about some conspiracy against him. And then yesterday, which is 20th, as acquired by your good self, I had sent the photographs, the video and 2 messages to you in the morning. I received a communication from your good self yesterday evening intimating the proposal to repatriate the Justice Yashwant Varma to the High Court of Judiciary at Allahabad, and I immediately responded yesterday evening itself and expressed my view that since the proposal is in the interest of better administration of justice, he will go and I will go with the same. On examining the incident reported, the material available and the response of Justice Yashwant Varma, what I find is that the Commissioner of Police in his report dated 16th March has reported that as per the guard posted at the residence of Justice Yashwant Varma, the debris and the other partially burnt articles were removed from the room where the fire had broken out in the morning of 15th March. The inquiry conducted by me prima facie does not reveal the possibility of entry or access to the room by any other person than those residing in the bungalow, the servants, the gardeners and the CPWD's personnel, if any. And accordingly, I am of the prima facie opinion that the entire matter warrants a deeper probe. And this is what this was the letter that was written to Chief Justice Sanjeev Khanna. And this was report submitted by the Commissioner of Police, which was shared with him on the WhatsApp. A pen drive also containing 3 photographs and a video shared with him by the Commissioner of Police, and a report dated 16th March of Registrar cum Secretary attached as well, and another report shared with him with the Commissioner of Police. So this is exactly the report that we were talking about. And again, moving on to more further details in this report, under directions of Honorable the Chief Justice, I visited the official residence of Honorable Mr. Justice Yashwant Varma at 30 Tughlaq Crescent, New Delhi on 15th March at around 9:10 p.m. And on reaching there, I called his private secretary to the Honorable Judge, who was requested by me to come to the bungalow. He came out and took me to the Honorable Judge, who was sitting in the room, and thereafter the Honorable Judge and I visited the room which is adjacent to the office where the fire incident took place. It was informed to me by the private secretary that the room was being used as a storeroom to keep useless article. So again, there's a stress on the fact that the useless articles were kept in that room of the household and remained accessible to all as it was not kept locked. And on reaching there, he found that it was completely dark. So this is what the details are coming in terms of the report, and this report is accordingly submitted for kind perusal of Honorable the Chief Justice. And this this is written by Dear Justice Upadhyay. I have received a report today which refers to oral queries raised and answers given by Mr. Justice Yashwant Varma, a sitting judge of the High Court of Delhi. In terms of the in-house procedures, it may be appropriate if you can highlight the facts recorded and found in the report and ask Justice Yashwant Varma to give his response thereto in writing on or before 12 noon tomorrow. And in addition, Mr. Justice Yashwant Varma may be asked to provide the following information. How does he account for the presence of money cash in the room located in his premises? Explain the source of money cash which was found in the said room. And who is the person who had removed the burnt money cash from the room in the morning of March 15? So, these were the questions that were posed, and also ascertain the details of the official staff of the High Court Registry, the personal security officers and the security guards who are posted at the residence of Justice Yashwant Varma during the last 6 months. And request letter may be sent to the mobile service provider for providing further details about details regarding his calls for the last 6 months. And Mr. Justice Yashwant Varma may be requested to not dispose of his mobile phones or delete or modify any conversation, messages or data from his mobile phones. The reply submitted by Mr. Justice Yashwant Varma along with his comments may be your comments may be furnished to me immediately for further action. So, this is written to Sanjeev Khanna, and it is written by Mr. Justice D.K. Upadhyay, Chief Justice, High Court of Delhi. And this is another response to that. Respected Chief Justice of India, as desired by your good self, dated 21st March, I requested Mr. Justice Yashwant Varma to furnish his response in writing through the letter dated 21st March, and a copy of which is enclosed. In response, Justice Yashwant Varma has submitted his reply dated 22nd March, which is being forwarded to your good self along with his letter. The details of the staff of the High Court Registry deputed with Justice Yashwant Varma is also enclosed herewith. A request letter was sent to the Commissioner of Police, Delhi, for obtaining call detailed records and IPDR of Justice Yashwant Varma's mobile number for the last 6 months. The call details record has been received and is being forwarded in a pen drive along with this letter, and as regards IPDR, the same shall be furnished to you as soon as it is received from the Commissioner of Police, Delhi mobile service provider. A copy of request letter is enclosed herewith. As regard the details of the personal security officers and the security guards posted at the residence of Justice Yashwant Varma during the last 6 months, which is from the 1/9/2024 till date, a request has been made to the Deputy Commissioner of Police Security for providing the same, and such details will also be submitted once they are received, and a copy of request is also enclosed. And I may also inform that Mr. Justice Yashwant Varma has also been requested with a letter dated 21st March not to dispose of his phone, and any conversations to not be deleted. Again, this is written by Devendra Kumar Upadhyay, and when we are talking about Dear Justice Varma, the following is brought to you notice for your response. And on 15th March, while I was at Lucknow on account of Holi, I got a call from Sanjay Arora. So, this is a letter that is written, and we have earlier also talked about this. This is a letter that was written to Justice Varma. It was written, and when we are moving on from that, on further query, the Commissioner of Police reported that the PCR call was made to your private secretary from mobile number which is registered in the name of High Court of Delhi, and that he was informed about the fire by one of the servants placed at the residence, and he also informed me that the storeroom is adjacent to the guard room. So, again, when we are talking about the placement of the room, it is adjacent to the CRPF room and the guard room. And moving on to some further details that are coming in. Dear Chief Justice, attached is my response to your communication of 21st March 2025. And despite the limited timeline, I appreciate the imperative urgency and submit my reply as under. A fire broke out in the storeroom situated near the staff quarters of my official residence on the intervening night of 14 to 15 March 2025. This room was generally utilized by all, and sundry to store articles such as unused furniture, bottles, crockery, mattresses, used carpets, old speakers, garden implements, as well as WD material. This room is unlocked and accessible both from the official front gate as well as the back door of the staff quarters. It is disconnected from the main residence and is surely not a room in my house, as has been portrayed and suggested in the article which appeared in the several articles and certain other news reports. On that date, my wife and I were not in Delhi and traveling in Madhya Pradesh. It was only my daughter and aged mother who were at home. I returned to Delhi only on the evening of 15th March 2025 from Bhopal, traveling on an Indigo flight with my wife. When the fire broke out around midnight, the fire service was alerted by my daughter and my private secretary, and whose calls would be duly recorded. During the exercise to douse the fire, all staff and the members of my household were asked to move away from the scene of the incident in view of safety concerns. After fire was doused and when they went back to the scene of the incident, they saw no cash or currency on site. I state unequivocally that no cash has ever been placed in that storeroom either by me or any of my family members, and strongly denounce the suggestion that the alleged cash belonged to us. The very idea or suggestion that this cash was kept or stored by us is totally preposterous. The suggestion that one would store cash in an open, freely accessible and commonly used storeroom near the staff quarters or in an outhouse verges on the incredible and incredulous. It is a room which is completely dissociated from my living areas, and a boundary wall demarcates my living area from that outhouse. I only wish that the media had conducted some inquiry before I came to be indicted and defamed in the press. As stated above, I returned to New Delhi on the evening of 15 March 2025 when I was apprised of the entire incident. I vividly recollect your first phone call to me on that evening when you apprised me of having received information of an incident of arson at my residence. I expressed shock and complete disbelief, since till that time I was led to believe that it was merely a fire caused by a short circuit. I recall my apprising you of the nature of the premises and the articles which are current usually put away for storage in that room. You had thereafter requested for the PPS to be permitted to visit the site, and to which I had readily agreed. The PPS agreed later that night, and when my PS along with the PPS inspected the gutted room, no currency was either found nor was any cash in any state seen present on site. This also stands corroborated from the report which has been provided to me, and post that inspection and on your instruction, the gutted room remains in that state even today. And we had then agreed to meet the next day before commencement of court. It was during our meeting at the High Court guest house that I was first shown the video and other photographs which had been shared with you by the Commissioner of Police. I was totally shocked to see the contents of the video, since that depicted something which was not found on site as I had seen it. It was this which prompted me to observe that this clearly appeared to be conspiracy to frame and malign me. It also intends credence to my firm belief that the entire incident is part of a sequence of events which occurred in the recent past, including the unfounded allegations that circulated on social media in December 2024, which too I had apprised you about during the course of our meeting, and your first reaction of the incident being that of arson. It was the lack of knowledge or connection with the purported discovery of currency is what prompted my reaction to our first interaction in respect of this episode, and when I had alluded to a conspiracy to frame me. At the cost of repetition, I unequivocally state that neither I nor any of my family members had stored or kept any cash or currency in that storeroom at any point of time. Our cash withdrawals made from time to time are all documented, and always through regular banking channels. The use of UPI applications and cards. Insofar as the allegation of recovery of cash goes, I once again make it clear that no one from my house ever reported seeing any currency in burnt form in the room. In fact, This gets further corroborated from there being no cash or currency which we saw when the site was restored to us after the fire personnel and the police had left the scene, quite apart from we being not apprised of any recovery or seizure which was made on the spot. And this may also be viewed in light of the statement of the chief of the fire service which I have gathered from the news reports. We have since that fateful night been continuously trying to find an explanation for the allegations which are being levelled, and with us being required to prove an allegation which is premised on cash being discovered at this and the same presumed to belong to me or my family members. That presumption requires me not only furnish an explanation with respect to the existence of an article allegedly present in a commonly used outhouse and general storeroom which was freely accessible, but also requires me to account for the same. That takes me to the video clip which has been shared with me. Assuming without admitting that the video was taken immediately at the time of the incident at the site, none of it appears to have been recovered or seized. The second aspect which I need to underscore is that none of the staff was shown any remnants of cash or currency that may have been present on site. I have made my enquiries from the staff present, who have also stated that there was no removal of currency which was allegedly found at the site or removed from the premises. The only thing which was cleared was debris, and that they considered and what they considered to be salvageable. That is still present in the house and can be seen kept apart in one part of the residence. What baffles me is that complete absence of any sacks of allegedly burned currency which was ever recovered or seized. We categorically assert that neither my daughter, my personal secretary, nor household staff were shown these so-called sacks of burnt currency. And I stand by my consistent position that when they accessed the storeroom, there was no currency, burnt or otherwise, which could be seen. I request to bear in mind that the storeroom is removed from my residence and is used as a general dump room for disused articles and other sundry household articles. I wonder who would countenance an allegation that currency would be kept in a storeroom in a corner of the house and which is freely accessible from amongst others the back wicker gate also. And I would beseech you to bear in consideration that no currency was recovered from the premises that we actually occupy and use as a family. That part of premises is as indicated above removed from the living quarters. It is in the aforesaid background that I urge you to absolve me of those unfounded and baseless allegations. In the life of a judge, nothing matters more than reputation and character. That has been severely tarnished and irreparably damaged. The baseless allegations that have been levelled against me have proceeded on mere innuendos and an unproven assumption that the cash allegedly seen and found belonged to me. This incident has scarred my reputation built over more than a decade as a judge of a high court, and it has left me with no means to defend myself. I would also beseech you to bear in consideration that in all my years as a judge of a high court, no such allegation has ever been made in the past, nor any doubt cast on my integrity. In fact, I would be grateful if an inquiry is made with respect to my functioning as a judge and what is the perception of the legal fraternity with regard to my integrity and honesty in the discharge of my judicial functioning. In these circumstances, my response to the queries are as follows. The number one, as already stated, I was never aware of any cash or money lying in the outhouse storeroom. Neither I nor my family members had any knowledge of cash, nor does it have any bearing or relation with me or my family. No such cash or currency was shown to my family members or staff who were present on that fateful night. Number two, in light of my response above, the question of explaining the source of the currency does not arise. And the third one, I also strongly deny and outrightly reject the insinuation, if made, that we removed currency from the storeroom. As stated above, we were neither shown nor handed over any sacks of burnt currency. In fact, and as stated above, the limited debris which was sought to be salvaged continues to exist in one part of the residence. And as stated above, I along with my wife returned from Bhopal on Indigo flight number 6E2303. and only on the evening of 15th March. Therefore, the question of alleged removal is not known to us. In any event, none of my staff removed any article, currency or cash in any form. So these are the photographs that have been attached in this as shared by the Commissioner of Police, Delhi, with Chief Justice of the High Court of Delhi. This is the picture number 1. As you can see, it's covered all over with soot, and black smog is covering the walls and the doors. And the picture number 2, as you can see, this has you can see cash on in it. You can see that on your screens, viewers. This is the second picture that it has been submitted by the Commissioner of Police with the Chief Justice of India, Chief Justice of the High Court of Delhi. And then this is picture number 3. As you can see, the fire officials are on the ground, and as you can see, these are burnt articles on the ground that you can see in the dark. And when we're talking about, this is the last of it, and we have seen these photos that have been attached, and the photographs that have been attached in this showing exactly the situation of when the fire took place, what happened, and the situation in that room that we have been talking about. So this was the response that was given by